Back, everybody. You are just in time for What's Hot, where we talk about the stories that have everybody talking.
We are joined today by Susie Falk from the Falk Group Public Relations, and Jeff Wagner is back with us. Several abortion clinics shutting down because of recent anti-abortion laws, and now doctors are urging more hospitals to fill that void by doing abortions. Hospitals provide 4% of abortions in the country, and many limit the procedure to rare cases. The question is, should more hospitals perform abortions?
Well, I think the issue becomes, this is actually a small group of activist doctors who are trying to encourage more doctors to perform abortions. There's lots of doctors that just, for a variety of reasons, want nothing to do with this procedure, and I think it should be up to the individual doctor to decide if they want to get involved with this one way or the other. So, if I'm a doctor and I hear some group saying you should do this, I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'll let my own conscience be my guide.
These aren't activist doctors. These are academics. These are the doctors that teach.
No,
yes,
Susie,
yeah.
no.
Oh, it's in read Time magazine.
No,
it's all in the article. Here's the problem, okay?
No.
Women are going to get abortions, okay? And last year, I think about 70,000 women worldwide died from complications due to back alley abortions, okay? It's going to happen. Now, the problem we have in this country is that you can't, it's very hard to find someone that is capable to do a medically safe abortion. Something like 90%. No, 97% of everyone living in rural America doesn't have an abortion provider within their county. Urban Americans have a little more access, but even still, 85% of counties in the United States don't have an identifiable abortion provider, okay? That said, you look at hospitals, and even when the 1972 Roe versus Wade law went into effect, we thought hospitals were going to offer. They didn't want to because they had funding sources that weren't going to touch it. So, and they're all very concerned about capital improvements and whatnot. So these little clinics popped up, okay? These clinics pop up all over the country, and they were doing a fine job for a while. And now they're being harassed. They're being threatened with bomb threats. They're having their doctors killed in church.
Have you lost
doctors
you're back 20 years ago.
No,
you're back
yeah,
20
we are
years ago.
going back 20 years ago.
The point of this topic is whether or not doctors who do not want to perform abortions should somehow be forced to do that.
No,
and
whether
the answer
hospitals
is no.
should be pressured to do it. And no, I don't think if a hospital doesn't want to offer it, they shouldn't be offered. They shouldn't be pressured to do it. But what I'm saying is that these clinics should be better protected. I think you should have the doctors that are working at these clinics to offer choice to
Susie,
women, the ability to go to church and not get blown away, Jeff.
1985 is calling,
Jeff,
and it wants its information back.
70,000 women died last year from botched abortions. 70,000
So now you're just
women.
bouncing around. Now you're talking
Jeff,
about bombing
time.
abortion clinics.
2 million of them were injured from botched abortions.
All right, now we're out of time.
Now we're out of time. Coming up next.
Our viewers' choice topic of the day.
Again, our guests today are Susie Falk, and as always, we have Jeff Wagner from News Radio 620 WTMJ. There are nationwide protests today calling for a higher minimum wage for fast food workers, including a couple of them right here in Milwaukee. Those workers are demanding their minimum wage rise to $15 an hour. They also want the right to unionize. Should the fast food minimum wage be increased?
I think they should be allowed to protest, and I think they should be allowed to ask for the $15 an hour, but whether or not their employers want to give it to them, that's their employer's choice. What I find so sad about this is it's really a statement on the economy, and the fact that those jobs used to be for high schoolers or maybe college kids that wanted to pay for books and tuition or get their first, their teeth cut on what it's like to be in the workplace, and now these folks are older. They're coming from places where they couldn't keep a job because employers were downsizing, and they're used to having to support families of 4, 6, 8. I think it's just a tragic statement about the economy right now.
But the reality is that the majority of people who are working in the fast food industry and the entry-level jobs are the teenagers or the kids in college. Look. Everybody would like to make more money. It is absurd to think that an entry-level job can pay $15 an hour. If that happened, what you would find is a lot of people that are making $7.50, those jobs would go away because the employers can't. Here's something else. You look at some of the images of these protests, I seriously wonder, and it's a question for the media, how many of those people out there actually work at the fast food places as opposed to how many of the professional protesters there are that are trying to generate some interest?
Well, maybe those people are supporting supporting their spouses or their brothers or their siblings that they see suffer because they're not making enough money to support their families.
Well, but you can't, Susie. Okay,
what?
It's a minimum wage job.
You can only protest if you've got a work card at the local McDonald's?
No, I'm just saying it's being portrayed as, okay, these are all the fast food workers. My guess is a lot of people out there are the same people you see every time there's a protest, from let's travel to Cuba to whatever. It's the professional protesters.
This has been a huge issue. We have heard a lot of people making minimum wage speaking out about this. You know, whether or not they're standing outside right now today, they are out there.
I dare you all to try to live on $10 an hour.
But you can't. You can't. But it's not designed to do that. Minimum wage jobs are entry-level jobs. So what you do is you work, you get experience, and then you work your way up the ladder. You can't live. You can't support a family of four in a $10 an hour job.
Can you work up your way up the ladder these days, though?
Well, sure. Of course you can. I mean, they're entry-level jobs.
Or we could
you get
offer
an
more
education.
technical training in the state, you know, and do a better job matching where the jobs are with the people who need them. I mean, we don't have enough time to get into all of that, but.
All right,
they have the right to
time.
protest.
You took a breath. I'm jumping in. Time for a lightning round. The Pope getting in on the selfie photo trend. Pope Francis posed for a picture with a group of young people visiting the Vatican. He met with about 500 people at St. Peter's Basilica. So the Pope taking some selfies.
We can't see the selfie? Do we have the selfie?
I hope we have it.
Two new words added to
We do not have permission to show you the Pope's selfie.
Well, two new words added to the dictionary this week. Selfie and twerking.
I know, I was afraid you were going to say that.
I'm glad the Pope is engaging in taking the selfie as opposed to the twerking.
And
That's all I got to say.
I hope we never have to use the word selfie when it comes to abortions, okay? But and we won't go back there. You know what? Good for the Pope for absolutely identifying with the public and getting together with the public and showing that he's human and he's accessible. And I think he's totally on top of the social media trends. I love this Pope. I'm not Catholic, but I love this Pope.
Susie, Jeff doesn't know what to do with you right now.
Me neither. Hey, the What's Hot discussion continues online. Lord knows what Susie will say over there. Find that page at tmj4.com/hot.
Coming up, Storm 2.